right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
Yeah, the energy. The fairground energy's for real, isn't it?
It is
Okay,
today.
riders.
Set them up.
Here we go. Screamer Speed, that's right. We've actually, this episode, dude, it's boiling down here.
Yeah.
Because we've had an emergency upstairs, haven't we? We're in the bunker.
We're in the bunker.
This is underneath the studio, believe it or not, because it's in fantastic condition. But upstairs, we've had mold growing so bad that it's sort of turned into like stalactites or stalagmites.
We've had staff members dropping like flies.
We have. Do you know what stalagmite or tite is? Which one is which?
Stalactites go up, stalagmites go down, right? Like tights go up.
I don't know. I thought stalagmites were from the floor up because mites I think of as floor creatures.
Oh, and tights go down.
That's what I thought, but I might be wrong.
I think I got it wrong. I think you're right.
But yeah, we've
go down.
Either way, we can agree we've got both upstairs.
We've got what?
I like the idea of pretending this is underneath the studio.
Yeah.
And it's just this mint.
This is the...
Let's carry on, though. Let's carry on
basement of the companionship.
Yeah,
HQ.
and it's all carpeted, beautiful, painted.
Yeah, and people are like, why were they up there in the other one?
Yeah, the other one.
When this was down below.
Horrible.
This is lovely. What we got?
This one. Right. This is the... so this is the emergency episode, so we're allowed to actually do everything really badly, aren't we?
Yeah, man, this is old school. I like it. We're going back.
Good.
It's been a minute since we've not had a guest. I mean, how many episodes do you think it's been since we've not had a guest? It's been 5, 6 maybe?
Yeah.
I think it's been
We've
a while.
been really guesty.
Yeah, guest heavy. We needed it. Get those numbers up.
It's good, though, because I don't get a chance to catch up with you, really, otherwise.
No, it's true.
No guest.
Maybe I'm the guest.
You're the guest. Should we do it like a professional interview? Do you know, I was thinking the other day, actually.
I feel like it.
How do you become better at podcasting? Like, how do you become better at, like, interviewing?
Yeah.
How do you become better at any of those things? It's not really like how do you do it?
Great question. Is this for me? As if
this is you or the guest. Now I'm
holy
doing guest
shit,
stuff.
that's scary.
How did
You're coming at me like I'd actually know.
Let's start again. So, Davey, you've been podcasting a while. How do you improve your game? Because we've noticed a significant increase in talent over the years.
That's a great question, Ollie. I mean, I think you've just got to be in the game. You know what I mean? You've just got to be in the game. You can't be on the sideline. You've got to be in the game doing
Cop out
it.
of an answer.
Yeah, super cop out. Forget that shit.
I did, but it would be good to be better at it. I might start watching YouTube. The answer is YouTube.
I think you'd be very surprised how good you are at it without really trying. And that's it.
What, in being conversational?
I'm blowing your trumpet there a little bit, but there's a reason that we do this together.
Yeah, and I am not the one that holds it. No, bullshit. This is
together. I think we can make it work. That's what I mean. Like
muddle through. But I think you're good at it. See, I often think I think you're more structured when we have guests. This is good. This is really good. This is like therapy. This is like
therapy.
Company therapy.
Yeah,
it's like podcast therapy.
Okay.
So I often think.
We've got ghosts in the companionship HQ.
Yeah, that's from one of the many tunnels. It's a absolute.
One of the staff members we lost.
Yeah. Slamming the door on the way out.
Close the door on the way out. Don't sue us.
The sexual assault claim.
That's on you.
Davey's the right. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. No. I think that you keep it on track. I think I could go on tangents for days, dude.
But I like that about it sometimes. I like podcasts that do that when there's literally no structure or no plan. I like that. I'm a big fan of that. But there's got to be some sort of structure to it at the same time. And I think the best podcasters are people that can go off on these tangents but then just bring it back again and be like, oh, actually, just go back to where we were.
Yeah.
Because especially when you have guests that maybe people don't know, you've got to do a half decent job of going through certain things, and I think there's always certain points that you've got to try and hit with certain guests.
You're absolutely right. When I do YouTube videos on my bicycle YouTube channel, not the Ride Companion channel, I really notice the sort of engagement of one that actually has a story. So I am starting here, I'm going up here. I'd love to do videos that are just like I just do my day and it's just fun. It's just manic fun and biking. But they won't do work. They don't have a story. There's no reason to like wait until the end. Do you know what I mean?
I think following your day would be hilarious.
Oh man, you hear my day yesterday? Do you want to hear my day yesterday?
Yeah, I do actually.
My day yesterday. I've got it in my notes. I've got notes because I was thinking. Do you know what? I used to worry about filling a podcast. I don't worry at all.
But that's going back to getting better at it.
You think?
100%. I feel like before we were doing a lot more of these, I'd really worried about that. Driving down here, I'd be like, okay, what we're going to talk about? What's Ollie been up to? I'd be looking on Instagram, like, what's going on?
Really?
Maybe it's because maybe the format is just a little bit different now, but at the same time, I just don't worry anymore. It's just and there's something lovely about that. You just let go and just have a conversation. Just sorry to interrupt you about your day, but also just going back to what we were talking about Rogan's recent episode with Post Malone, been like 4 and a bit hours. They're just mates chatting.
Yeah.
And it's nice. Like, I enjoy listening to podcasts like that.
Yeah, I haven't listened to that one, but 4 hours certainly sound like if we talk for 4 hours, where do you reckon it'd go?
South.
Do you think it would just be 4 hours and then derail? 4 hours and then
I don't know, you know. Who knows? Because do you not find sometimes that though when you like coming to the end of them, like now we try and keep to like an hour and a half, by that point you're starting to warm into it a little bit? I always think
100% with a guest, especially.
Always with a
especially
guest.
One
Takes
that
an
you
hour
know
to
less.
get going.
Like Josh.
Yeah.
I found that with Josh because I know Josh, but not really very much at all.
Yeah, I don't know him at all.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I think he relaxed into it. We all relax into it. There's like something that you can't put your finger on. Yeah. That's what I mean. I like the idea of going to someone and them telling you exactly what you could do to improve at what you're doing.
Please, comment section's always open.
Yeah, but like also like if there was,
but don't, because it can be quite hurtful.
Actually, there isn't there? Right? This don't count as public speaking, but you can do public speaking, can't you?
You can do media training and stuff, can't you? Public speaking training. I'd go do one of those courses for a laugh.
Public speaking.
Public speaking terrifies the hell out of me.
Me too. When was the last public speaking you did? I mean, other than exactly now.
Yeah, this is different, but yeah, I couldn't tell you last time I spoke in public. I used to go to this. It wasn't public, but I used to go to this like business support group. Right, this is years ago. Probably 8 years ago, and you used to have to, at the start of it, you'd have to introduce yourself and tell people like what you've been doing, and I would be terrified of it, and I'd stumble and I'd stutter, and I'd be like, I do a podcast, and people are like, this guy, like that must be the shittest podcast. But yeah, terrified of it. Like the idea of doing one of these live kind of appeals to me now.
Does it?
A little bit more than it would have 2 years ago.
Yeah, there you go. Terrifies
2 years ago, terrified. Now I'll be like, yeah, we could probably make some.
It terrifies me. I did that London bike show, Warner and Deaks.
Yeah, that's public speaking.
That is public speaking, and that actually didn't terrify me. There's a lot of people, but I've done like speeches at weddings. I did a speech at Bren's wedding. I did a speech at Seb's wedding, my friends.
Yeah,
and
it is public speaking. You are
that's gnarly for me
in public.
Really gnarly.
It would, but you are being interviewed, so it's kind of different.
Exactly.
If you were just up there on your own on a pedestal, whatever it is, what is it that a bishop stands behind? Yeah,
you're right. That is the difference.
Be really tough, I think.
It was crazy though, but like doing Seb's best man speech, I was just stood there on my own. Bren's best man speech, I was with other best men, so it made it easier.
Yeah. Were you not the best?
Seb's, no, I wasn't the best. Seb's, I was in a room. It was. I think it was 150 people. So it's quite a fair sized wedding. And when you looked out there, it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a lot.
That it felt like a lot as well. And but equally, I talked myself through it. So I was like, okay, so I'm happy. The people this matters to are all people I know, and the people I don't know, I don't care, and I say it from the bottom of my heart. I don't care if they don't like me, or if they don't find it funny, or if they don't enjoy it, or if they don't get the jokes. I don't really mind.
I think that's the attitude you have to have.
But it didn't help me when I was up there. It'll be somewhere on camera. When I watched it back, it didn't go bad at all. But like the feeling of,
I can imagine you're good at it.
That
you just
feeling though is terrifying. Yeah, but like
imagine.
also it's like standing up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, this is easy. Even this table adds a little bit of protection.
It does.
Even in this room beneath our podcast studio.
Yeah, it does.
It adds something.
Yeah,
you feel a bit like...
If you were just sat here staring forwards at a screen, camera, way harder.
And like little things to make difficult. It... Like if we both turned now and put both our hands in each other's hands and carried on this conversation...
I'm not doing it, but yeah.
Come on.
Go on then. Oh, you pulled away! You made it weird!
No, I was trying to move it.
You made it weird.
But small things change it, don't they?
Yeah.
Is what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's like... Yeah.
They do. Small things do change it. I don't know, man. I would be more up for the live thing, thinking about that now.
The live thing.
Kind of.
What would the set look like?
This with the people.
Would we have
Doing
to bring the mold in?
A mold.
We'd probably have to.
Oh, the mold.
Yeah, the mold.
Yeah,
we'd probably have to in any venue that we go to. We'd probably have to bring some gone off yogurt and just sort of paint it lightly on the ceiling. Yeah, just so that we get the stalactites or mites. Yeah,
maybe that would be our setup. People would walk in and be like, it stinks in here. Like, welcome to the Ride Companion. It's a full like 4D experience, like smell vision and everything.
Scratch and sniff, yeah.
You smell beer in here. We're sweating so bad.
Right, because I'm good at podcasting, I'm
bringing it back to your day.
Home improvements. I get a lot of questions actually about the house. I think early on in the renovation, I was very. It was actually something that I covered loads on the podcast, and people really liked it. And I do get a lot of questions through the rectangles that through
rectums.
Do they come through the rectum? Mobile phone through social media channels. Wow, how weird was that? Full blank. I just called it a rectangle. My mobile phone.
It's a rectangle.
It is a rectangle, yeah. I get a lot of questions about the renovation, and so we've had progress.
Please.
You're going to be sleeping for the first time in a room with carpet.
Yeah.
I have rooms complete now.
Yeah.
This only happened last week. I have rooms that are actually finished, and it does feel like a bit of a milestone. It does also feel like I've got to crack on with everything else, but it's good. I've got parts of a house actually
you're
done,
in there now. Like
painted.
You're in the game.
We're in there, yeah.
Yeah. Proud of you, man. Sick.
Yesterday we took out the fireplace. A seemingly easy job. What do you need? A Kango, hammer and bolster.
Don't know what a Kango is.
It's like a breaker.
Oh, okay.
It's a stone fireplace. It doesn't go into a chimney.
Right.
So this is literally just
Someone's
an arrangement of stones with concrete. And
Okay.
So your boy's here. He's got music on. He's on his own. Can going away. I broke into. First of all, I smashed through a hole that just went under my house. I was hoping to find another fantastic basement like this, but I didn't. It was just a hole with some like gas smell in it.
Hello.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, it's downstairs. Yeah, all of this is going on in a flat, by the way.
A snake comes out.
So it just turned out it was just a cavity. It's just an old building. And it's just like an area.
And your house used to be stables, right?
It did. Horse stables. Yes, it's probably gas from methane from horse poo,
maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've carried along the fireplace all this concrete, and I've hit something, and just black water has sprayed, probably chest high.
Oh no!
Like, dude, it was honestly really bad, and you're like panicky because you got music on, and there's like, do you ever have that with music on?
Yeah.
I think I actually had it in my ears because it was acting.
Too much stimulation would freak me out.
Oh, it's too much.
It's too much.
So you've got black water spraying up.
It's kind of like when you're lost and you're trying to find somewhere, so you turn the radio down.
Yeah, exactly.
You need like silence to concentrate.
I'm really affected by that, 100%.
Yeah.
So this black water's come up, and I've just been like, oh no, what even do I do? Because I just thought I'd hit a spring. There was no reason for any central heating pipes to be going along there. Okay, so I've gone through the logical things. This is a spring under my house, and the house is now. I've now found something that I can't unfind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
is that
the
a spring in a house? Is that a thing?
Well, you can just get these sort of like storm drains, French drains. If it's an old building with a new addition to it.
Right.
I say it's new. It's probably 60s, the addition to it. But quite often you have like a old French drain or something. You know, like a lot of building is just covering up old crap, really.
Yeah.
And you're not doing it wrong if you cover up old crap. You're just not. A lot of the stuff that you're doing, like even a copper pipe, if you bury it in a load of concrete, it will eventually pinhole the copper pipe, and you'll get a leak, which is almost undetectable. Your water bill will just go up never-endingly, and you'll never even know it's happening if it's on a ground floor.
Interesting. But I mean, it's
problem,
logical. I just don't.
The problem is, as a builder, it's not going to happen in your life.
Yeah, so
you know what I mean? So you're just covering up the pipe.
Yeah.
You're just doing your job. You're leaving. You're taking the money, moving on to the next one.
Which is what's happened in this house.
Similar
or no?
No, I just can't go to a massive hole for it.
No, what I mean
No
is
one's
someone
fault. I'm blaming it on other people.
no
but
one's they've just covered it up. No,
Oh, they have just covered it up.
They
Yeah.
just put a floor.
I
over
wasn't
it.
to know basically there's pipes there. I'm really dragging out a story, but
What
it was just funny.
Okay.
I went straight to the. I think it's telling of my brain, you know, like having a slightly creative mind. I've found this weird hole initially that smells of gas.
I want to know
already
what you did.
thinking, what the fuck is it?
But what do you do? Did you just get wet, or did you put your finger on
Me?
it? Like, how do you?
First of all, music off.
Okay.
Can go down. Black water goes all across the parquet wood flooring. I got the brush. I swept it into the gas-smelling hole. And I kept sweeping, and the pressure slowly went down, because if it's like standing water, it's just trapped, and it's just going to piss for a bit.
Right.
Like, it looks way more dramatic than it is. I'm trying to think of an example. Like if a twig hits the car roof, it sounds like the world's ending, right?
Yeah.
But actually it's not. You
Okay.
go outside, there's not even a dent.
Yeah.
The same really with this. It's like, it feels really gnarly because it's your indoor space.
Yeah.
But the reality is it's like,
It's just some trap water.
yeah, it's not that much, but it wasn't trap water, it was my central heating.
Oh, what's
Yeah.
okay, right.
Upon further investigation, after I drained the entire system, every radiator in the house onto my floor and swept it into a gassy hole, which I still don't know what it is. I fully intend on covering it up. Yeah, I just had to replace the radiator pipe. So I got a shout out to Damo. He came over.
Oh,
Put a
Damo.
slip got Damo on the phone.
Big up Damo.
Don't know why we went straight into our trade voice.
That's Aussie trade, isn't it? Damo.
I
The old Damos.
I actually turn into Jack the Lad when I'm in the builders merchants. I do.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
What do you? Bit of slang.
Just loads of sort of
All right,
like
lads.
Jack the Lad jokes. I try and get everything for cheap.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's your tactic for getting something cheap in the builders merchants?
Find damaged stuff or damaged stuff, and then ask for money off of it. And just being sort of
I
like,
can't see you doing that. I respect that you do it though.
yeah.
That's
A
good.
lot of that house is damaged stuff.
That you've damaged.
Yeah. Yeah. Or no, most of it's just timber. If it's just because like it doesn't matter if it's a bit bananaed.
Yeah, you straighten it out.
Yeah, we'll just bolt it into this going underneath something anyway. But yeah, so it all got fixed up in the end.
Yeah.
It was very traumatic, and I did just think,
What's the one thing you've learnt so far about home renovation? What's your biggest takeaway so far?
So for me, I've definitely taken on more than this. This has been stressful for
right?
me. Yeah,
It's been stressful.
it
I
has.
think you wear it well. You wear it well for stress, but like I don't mean physically, but like I mean emotionally. You do seem to wear it well, but I know that it's there he is. I know that it's
yeah, it's stressful. Yeah,
it's stressful.
It's just much more of an undertaking than I ever thought.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bad time for me to be saying this because you are literally about to start.
The day this comes out.
Is it?
Yeah, I'll be moving into a new house.
Dude,
So-
huge congrats.
and literally
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing
It's cool,
stuff.
man. It's cool. It's cool.
I think it's I don't know, probably a lot of people I hate referring to people as listeners, but probably a lot of people that listen to this podcast probably have already done it,
Yeah.
or are doing it, or are thinking of doing it.
I
So
think we all live somewhere.
yeah, and like everyone
Not
has
all.
an opinion. Like,
Most listeners
yeah,
live somewhere.
I think I'm the classic. The reason I took on such a massive project is because I did used to work on building sites.
Yeah.
So I sort of felt like I was like, I'm by no means in any way skilled.
Yeah.
But I thought like, yeah, you got this.
Have a crack
You've
at
done
this.
every individual thing separately on someone else's property, not paying for any of the materials. You can do it on your own, but it's just different.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine, dude.
For some reason, it's just different when you
You
find out
care
how much.
more.
Yeah, so
You care more. It's your house.
So, for instance, a sheet of insulation, Celotex.
Yeah.
It's like the silver-backed foam.
Yeah.
When I was
Gorilla
younger,
foam.
and I worked on a building site. If I had to knock up a bit of concrete, I would just find a sheet, like a half sheet of Celotex, put it on the floor because it's flat. Then I can easily scrape it up, and I'd just knock up muck.
Oh,
So
onto
then-
it.
Just on it. I'll just use it as a board
Yeah.
because it has no value to me. It's just a silvery, crappy sheet I don't care about. I didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
When you pay for it, that sheet is 60 quid.
Wow.
I didn't realise.
Yeah,
I'd never be
that's-
doing that if I
No.
So I did, and there's examples of that all the way through. When I was younger and I was working on site,
You just don't like waste anything. You're always trying to find uses for every little bit of stuff.
Time consuming, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, dude. That's good. It's I'm proud of you. It's cool. It's a big move. And like you say, I'm just about to do it. So
it'd be good. What have you got on? I mean, I'm intrigued to hear what sort of state the house is in.
I can't even remember, man. It's been a while since we even went and looked at it. To be honest, I feel like these things drag out. Yeah. But I am excited. I think obviously everyone says that to you. Like, oh, you're excited. It's like, yeah, I am excited, but I'm also like, God, it sounds so bad, but like I am excited. But there's an asterisk in that.
What's the asterisk? The
asterisk is that it sounds snobby, this, and I'm not a materialistic guy, but it isn't. Oh, I almost don't like saying it out loud. It's not the dream home.
Okay.
It is a step on a ladder, but I hate that I'm saying that because I've never said anything like that really in my life, especially not out loud to thousands of people. But because I'm very grateful to even have a house, and I was sat in our current house yesterday, which backs onto a river. It's quite nice, the little river. And I built this bench there for the lady who's moving in because I thought, oh, she'll like a bench down here where we sometimes sit. So I've built a little bench, and I was sat there drinking my coffee yesterday morning, just thinking, what am I doing? Like, I could just stay in this house. Like, it's so easy and cheap and no stress and like. But yeah, I don't know, man. It almost does sound snobby, and I hope it doesn't come across that way. But it's not the dream home yet. But I am still excited. I think I need this project. I need like a little bit of an extra push with everything because I think, like you've experienced, it's not just the home. It's like it makes you think about everything. Like you have to take life a bit more seriously. Is that fair?
Yeah, definitely.
Things
Mate,
go up.
I don't think
like
there's anything snobby about saying it's not a dream home. It's
there's like and my dream home. Like I'm not the materialistic guy really. It's not a massive house. It's not like where we are now.
What is the dream home?
You know, but what is the dream home? I've always envisioned, you know, you have this vision in your head of what you'd like to live in, right? Yeah. It's always been quite a character property. Yeah, which everyone says that, right? So I'm going to be mindful of that. But it's very much like a cottage with a tiny bit of land, with like a garage and a bit of land, like maybe a pump track or some dirt jumps. And I know it sounds so silly.
So what are we saying about the cottage? I'm
there's
with
just
you.
like
I enjoyed this. It's really good
in my head of like when you're growing up, when you're seeing homes around, like especially where I live in the Peaks, a lot of the houses are really quite beautiful.
Yeah,
and you
like
just
stone.
like stone. Like we have a lot of grit stone.
Yeah,
stuff like that. And I think it's grit stone. I'm sure it's called grit stone. But I've just always envisaged that. But then you start to figure out how much that actually costs, and it's not as easy as like I'm just going to have one of those houses.
Yeah,
there is unfortunately steps on a ladder that you almost do have to go up, and so many things have to line up as far as being able to buy and sell at the right time. And I'm not that sort of person.
Okay,
I'm not playing that game.
Yeah.
Which is also quite scary.
So we've got character property.
Yeah.
Land surrounding it. So detached.
Little bit, but mainly for detached or semi. I don't mind, but it's almost for ease because obviously my girlfriend's horsey.
But you want to be away from other people.
Yeah.
But how far away are we talking?
Quite far. I had this conversation with my friend yesterday because we were talking about where I was moving, and he was like, "Oh, I don't quite understand it because I quite like being near a city, and to me that is quite alien. I can't think of anything worse than being near a city. It's weird, isn't it? How you have these people are like, oh, I want to live in an apartment in the middle of a city centre, and I'm like, that to me is like prison. I don't want to be anywhere near people or city centres. So yeah, quite far out, like enough that you are. I'd like to say a 30-minute drive is perfect to a city.
Dude, I find it so interesting. It's like it just highlights how different everyone is, and it's what makes the world interesting. It's so good. That's why I asked about dream home. Like I could be really specific about what my dream home.
You must be close. You're close.
Man, I could live in my current house forever. Yeah, absolutely. But I wouldn't say dream home. I wouldn't say it's
interesting.
Yeah, I would say tiny house, massive land is my dream. That's always been my dream. Yeah. So much land, horrible, crappy, dilapidated barns where I could put old tractors and stuff. And like that's, I think. Yeah, you're right. Mine is. I'd be happy living in mine forever. But then I would have been happy living in my old house forever.
And that's exactly where I am at, actually, really, at the moment. I like, it's fine. You're happy.
It's fine.
It's just that there's like
But the dream one is different, isn't it?
The level of excitement would be different if you're
Yeah.
like, that is the house where I can see myself living forever. Because you know you're gonna have to do it again.
I also think it's interesting because, like, especially around here, like my dream home isn't that big. It's probably 3-bedroom, I would say.
Nice.
I wouldn't want more because I don't want to have rooms that I don't go in.
Yeah, you can only be in one.
Yeah, because I mean, you go around some of the roads here.
Yeah.
And there's houses like either that is Swiss Family Robinson living in that house.
It's different.
Or like they are so mad. Like, what's the point in a 10-bedroom house? Like, if you got two of you.
I'd like to. I don't know many people that have got homes like that.
No.
But I'd like to ask the person with the home and be like,
"What is it? Rooms you don't go in?
Is it? What is it? Is it a status thing? What is it? Or have you got like 50 kids? I don't know.
I don't really know.
What is it? There's obviously a historic thing going on here. No, historic, like a evolution thing, right? Of like the bigger house that's like the wealthy people, like obviously. But there also has to be a point where you're like, enough's enough. You can just chill in this nice house and not stress. Because with all that comes so much stress, right? Of like bills and cleaners and gardeners and...
I really don't know. I don't really know status things. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not affected by them, but I can't think of an example of where I'm statusy, where I'm making a look at this sort of thing.
Yeah.
I can't think of an example, but I must do somewhere. Every human must somehow project what they want people to see.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Are we doing a Caldera ad today?
Yes.
Perfect. So you might not have the big house, but you can still look $1 million with our first sponsor, Caldera
That was really
Lab.
nice. Really, really personal touch there, like that.
I like that.
To the ads. Gentlemen, we all know first impressions matter. And if you're not taking care of your skin, that's going to be the first thing someone notices. And instantly either thinks you're way older than you are, or just you don't care about your appearance. Show them you do and make a great first impression with Caldera Lab.
All right. You're going to brush your teeth today. Incorporating skincare before it, you're guaranteed to not mess up your routine, leaving your breath fresh and your face refreshed.
That's right. Caldera Lab creates high-performance men's skincare products, and the regimen leads off their product lineup, a twice-a-day routine to transform your skin.
That's right. Caldera Lab knows the skincare world is heavily female-driven and has long been the wild, wild west for men, which is very true.
Yeehaw.
That's why they're making the solution simple. All right.
Right, we're going to talk about the regimen first.
Yep.
It includes 3 products: the clean slate, the base layer, and the good. There we go.
Thank you.
Now, the clean slate starts and ends your day. This face wash leaves all skin types refreshed. The base layer, you doing it as we speak, yeah?
Yeah, I just realised we don't have water to wash it off, though.
Hey, not a problem. Don't
problem.
you worry, because...
I've committed to the cause.
Yeah, do it. The base layer is your daily moisturiser to hydrate your skin and jumpstart your day, full of confidence. And the good is your go-to multifunctional serum.
Would you like to
at
use
night? I'm going to use some right now.
Okay.
It helps your skin looking tighter and smoother, as well as helps reduce the visibility of wrinkles and fine lines. Sorry, I stumbled on my words then because I've got so many wrinkles.
They're distracting.
Yeah, I feel like there was an extra word that I missed out. You know what I mean? Because that wrinkles and fine lines, we've got them all. Every drop of this serum is packed with 3.4 million antioxidant units, protecting your skin.
Wow. And the Caldera Lab Icon Eye Serum, it addresses the 3 most common skin concerns around the eye: fine lines, dark circles, and puffiness. Maybe you should...
I'm doing it now,
You should be using the other one.
I'm doing it now, right?
Okay.
Right, Caldera Lab is the leader in men's skincare and made only with top-tier ingredients. And clinical trials have found 94%, that's right, 94% of men's skin showed an overall younger-looking appearance after using Caldera Lab for only a few weeks, Davey.
That's crazy. And to be honest, mate, I've been using this for a while. Real world evidence right here. I've had quite a few people now say, your skin looks good, dude. Like, you look younger.
You look younger than me as well, don't you?
Yeah, some say.
A lot say, most say.
Most agree.
Yeah.
1 minute morning and night is all it takes to reduce your wrinkles, fine lines, and signs of aging. So, obviously, we're going to hit the companionship with a once-in-a-lifetime deal, okay? So, the best offer available anywhere is by using our code, which is the Ride Companion at calderalab.com. That's going to get you a whopping 20% off.
Dude, you're joking. 20%?
20% is actually a lot of money off these products.
Right, so I'm going to calderalab.com.
Yep.
And the code again is the Ride Companion.
That's correct.
Is that all capitals?
It is all capitals.
All capitals,
Yeah,
okay.
that's right. And that's going to knock you 20% off the entire skincare range. They've also just added some new products on there too. They got a body wash. They got a shaving serum.
Really?
So there's more than what we have available here on this table.
Wow.
All right. So thank you, Caldera Lab.
Thank you, Caldera Lab. I'm going there straight away.
Okay, you go there.
Get my phone. 1 second. Thanks. And we're back. Did you want to do it?
What?
Did you want to do it and we're back?
No.
Okay, cool. I thought
I've got to stop playing with this little knob in here.
I just like putting my nose on the mic. Can you hear that when I put my nose on the mic? Is it annoying? No. Oh, good. I'm going to do it forever. It's so comfy. Have you tried it?
Can't. I have to sit a bit funny like that.
Yeah. Right.
I get our listeners will be happy if we talk like this all the time.
I don't know. It's a bit ASMR, isn't it? Before the break, we were talking about status, and during the break, during that fantastic advert, I must add, it was really, really nice intro.
Thank you.
That you gave it. We were talking about status, things that you have that are statusy, or some way that you're trying to project anything, wealth.
Yeah.
I can't think of what other things people project. Worldliness,
is
knowledge.
It that you
strength.
So like the status, does it have to be a monetary status that you're projecting, or could you project in the scene that you're into, or I think that's pretty much it. The scene you're into, like.
Yeah, no, I understand what you mean. Like if you're into like metal, or if you're
and also if you see Olly Wilkins driving around the Surrey Hills in a G-Wagon with a bike on the back, you're projecting the status of biker, pro biker.
Yeah, I felt like a cock when I first got that rack.
Did you?
That rack, yeah, I felt like a cock because that rack to me is like, hey everyone, look, I'm going mountain biking everywhere I go. But I find it really hard to think about. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm trying to. It's been too long doing it. Like,
I don't know where there was a change that happened with me in my mid-20s where the whole idea of status and the idea of my relationship with money changed a lot. That I just stopped. I wouldn't say I stopped caring. That's not right at all, because I think we all have to have a bit of care about money and paying bills and living somewhat of a comfortable life. But the idea of accumulation and the idea of presenting this idea really changed.
Yeah, well, that's it. Because I mean, honestly, the richest people I've seen are wearing wellies and they're covered in.
Yeah, I love that.
But they're still going after money. So it's like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
All right, so they're not statusy, but they're like.
Yeah.
Or is there that whole? Because I've also seen, like, it's such a complicated question because then. If they're projecting the fact that they don't care.
But then that's a projection.
Yeah. So, like, sometimes you see...
The system is broken.
Have you seen people driving around, like, an old, perfect Porsche?
Yeah.
And they'll get out at the petrol station and they won't have shoes on.
Yeah,
they'll walk in like tramps.
Yeah.
Without their shoes on across the forecourt.
But that is also a projection, isn't it?
It's like, I've got so much money, I don't have to care.
Yeah, I don't care anymore.
I don't even know. I don't know what... I think it's almost impossible to... I feel
like, do we all have an element of us that cares a little bit, do you think?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Definitely, but I can't sort of like... Some people you meet, you definitely can see that they care a lot. But you can care about different things, can't you? I don't know. I've sort of lost my train of thought where we're at with the question.
Yeah, I have, totally. Which is
Houses.
Good.
Houses and status, that's what it was.
Totally.
So the dream house, what's the gate look like? What's the entrance look like? Does it have a drive?
It doesn't have a gate. It just has like some nice like stone things, like pillars or something like that.
Stone pillars. What are you trying to say with the stone pillars, dude? What are you going to put gargoyles on there? Are you going to put gargoyles with laser eyes on? What are you doing? You put like, Davy above it?
It's like when I say stone pillars, I mean like What's the big monolith called in the south?
Oh, you want some monolith now?
Stonehenge.
The guy doesn't care about. He wants some monolith.
I want it like Stonehenge.
One of the 7 wonders of the world
Quite
on your drive.
understated, really.
Oh,
quite
come
understated.
on.
No, man, I love the. Really love that look. There's a lot of it down here, actually, where we are. Honestly, like where we are right now with the wooden sided buildings and stuff. Like, I really love that. We don't really do that much up north, I don't think. But something like that, that's just what in my head I'm like. That's where I'll live one day. So
yeah,
and it's good to have some sort of. I feel like I'm a massive contradiction here with what I'm saying, but it's really hard to put across how I feel about it because it's such a big change. It's just, there's a lot of confusion. I think, did you feel a bit like that when you were making this big leap? Ours isn't as big, but it's like, it is a big leap from where we live and how we live now. It's a big leap, and it's just like, I just feel a bit out of sorts about it at the moment. I'm a bit just like, is it a good decision? Is it a bad decision?
Mate, the whole time I feel like a fraud. Like, the whole time I think I have no business really even operating in normal society. In many ways, I think like how can I be? I don't know. How can I have a house even? It's so ridiculous. I'm not old enough in my head, but I am. I'm 37. But
do you feel lucky?
In my head, I feel like I'm like.
Do you feel lucky, or do you not believe in that?
Oh yeah, I feel so lucky. I got was born in England.
That's nice.
You serious? I was
Great
born
Britain.
here.
Great Britain. You managed Great Britain.
Okay, right. This is, and it's at this point I have to do a formal apology. I don't know where I am most of the time. All right, and actually,
you mean to the world?
Yeah, in the world. Actually, in this podcast family, we're actually outnumbered by Scots. Is that correct? Can we?
I mean, it's.
Can you acknowledge?
It's pretty even field.
Still,
Even, yeah.
We're even.
I think it's 2-2. Who's going to win in a fight?
Don't you seen Braveheart?
Yeah, that's true.
A mess. I said that we're in England. I meant to say we're in Great Britain, but I just get them mixed up on Win TV, and the backlash has been similar to that of disc golf. I think disc golf versus Scotland would be quite a good sort of.
Let's tie it up. Let's line it up.
I'd rather that than be against either of those two. Really.
Let's put those guys together and see what happens.
Yeah. So formal apology. Anyway,
that's a stupid question asking you if you feel lucky. I just think that some people don't believe in luck.
Mate, there's not a day I don't feel lucky. I think,
nice.
and the longer I've oh no, absolutely. It's like, but like the luck I think is that my parents were nice to me. It sounds so stupid, but born in Great Britain, my parents were nice to me.
Yeah.
I had lovely friends. I had the countryside around me. Those are the things I feel lucky for. Borrowing a load of money for a house doesn't really. I don't feel lucky for that.
No.
That's.
Yeah.
I think all of those things. I could have been born in a war-torn country. I could have just the same guy been born in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I could have been radicalised. I could have not been radicalised and still had a crap time. Like the level of opportunity, the fact that like we can have a podcast is absurd.
Yeah.
You know, people don't have water and we have a podcast.
Yeah, and people
It's
are listening on iPhones, which is nuts.
It's mind-blowing, yeah. So everyone listening to this is incredibly lucky as well. It doesn't matter if you feel hard done by, you're still lucky.
It's true.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel super lucky, yeah.
Good.
Every day, every single day. You?
Yeah, super lucky.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, not in a smug way either. I think,
No.
like, fucking hell, when's it going to end?
No, just like, it's just nice, isn't it? Just not really, no one's trying to like blow your head off and stuff, you know? It's kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And so much of, I do think that so much of like the hoo-ha in the world that, and the worries and stuff, like the worries are almost a luxury. I do think it, man. The worries are a luxury. The things that get talked about in the news sometimes, these things are a product of luxury. They're like, there's things that go on in the world that are much gnarlier than even the things that we worry about and that we talk about.
Who was it who said, take away food and water and see how many people care about pronouns?
Well, dude, I tell you what, it is actually a great example.
Yeah, if there is no electricity, no food, no water,
and
you ain't going to be going.
You have to really go that far.
Him.
You don't have to go that far.
Nah, you don't. No, you don't.
You don't have to go that far to see some wild old stuff.
I mean, yeah, in the UK probably as well. In a lot of places.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gnarly places around here in the UK
Yeah.
where people aren't living.
In the UK, was that all right?
GB.
I've really upset him.
No, Scotland's beautiful.
Scotland is beautiful. I've just come back from Scotland. I haven't really
Talk about World Champs, actually. Let's talk about it. If that's
Yeah.
okay, let's just cover it real quick.
I'd love to talk about World Champs. World Champs for me was
I know we did it.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It was I've been going to Fort William for many years. Always just as a super fan of the sport, going to watch the races, loving it. Sometimes I had my bike with me. Sometimes I just went up as a fan. Actually, I've always had my bike with me,
Okay.
but never my e-bike.
Okay.
And this was the dream scenario, right?
Yeah.
So it's 12 hours from here, drive approximately. Here to Fort Bill, 12 hours drive. Long old drive, a lot of
So
opportunity
far.
for traffic. It's far.
Yeah.
It's too far. You go to Morsey a bit quicker than you go to Fort Bill.
Yeah.
And so I had the opportunity to drop an e-bike in a van and then fly up. Very lucky, yes. But I mean, the flights aren't that bad.
No.
And so me and Deaks jumped on a flight. Our bikes were already up there, chargers. We rented a car, and then we slept on our friend's floor. And it was the first time I've had like e-bike in the Highlands. And it was so good.
Really?
And I've been going to Fort William all these years, and I've not been riding the good tracks. I've not been riding the good
Okay.
stuff. And we did basically we just did 2 batteries a day, just bombing laps. It was unreal.
Sick.
Yeah, it was really good. So I got to experience the race, and
Was there many other people riding, or were mainly people spectating?
mate, we got
I seen you rode a upper trail that no one was on.
oh
Is
yeah.
that 'cause it's closed, or?
So there you go. Yeah, Fort William previously is just that red trail, or it's
Yeah.
now Black Trail, Top Chief.
Yeah.
I think named after Joe Barnes.
Joe
Someone
Barnes,
might
yeah.
correct me.
I believe so.
But I've ridden that every year that I've been there, and then I've ridden a few of the local tracks on the same hill though, in the square of Woodland. So they're ones that I've seen on a few videos previously, but they're all tight, dark woodland.
Yeah.
Really cool, really classic.
Joe Barnesy.
Dudes a hazard.
Yeah.
yeah, wicked. So, but we went somewhere else
Sick.
this time.
And rode
Oh,
out
mate,
from
I've
the
got
pits.
Cracking story actually.
Mm.
I've got a real good story.
Please.
So me and Deaks jump in Fiat 500. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Fiat 500 straight out of Glasgow Airport, and we head up into the Highlands. That's a 2-hour drive. One of the most scenic drives ever, right?
Beautiful
Unreal.
drive. Past
Past
Jimmy
Loch
Savile's
Lomond.
cottage.
Past that place, yeah.
Don't know why I
Amazing
brought that up.
scenery. Yeah, bring up the sex offender one. Yeah, nice one. Savage sex
Oh, no.
offender.
I'm just gonna have a work roll. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've driven up, and Deaks has said, look, my old sergeant major lives on the way. We're going to pop in. So Deaks is sergeant major, you know. The military's very hierarchical. You have a very set relationship, I would imagine. I'm talking out of turn here. Deaks hasn't said this, but like that's really cool to go and meet your sergeant major after you've
Deployed, come back.
They're both civvies now.
Cities. Yeah.
So it's I guess it's more open for them to have like a normal relationship that doesn't involve one person being in charge and one person. Yeah. So
That's cool.
yeah, we've gone to meet him, but you can tell even to Deaks, this is still his boss. You know, there's like something can't change. If you're a military person, I guess again. I don't want to talk about the military because I've never done it. I'm a
it's tough.
sissy lala,
Yeah.
but the you could tell he was sort of like, you know, this is a guy that he greatly respects. So it's like, and he's bringing his bloody, I don't know, lucky mate, surfer dude mate along.
in a Fiat 500.
Yeah, in a Fiat 500, we pull up, and already you can see this guy comes out, ripped bloke, comes out as sergeant major, clean shaved, starts ripping us for the car. We've gone in. Deaks is he's not, you know, they're mates. They've known each other for ages since they've left the military. It's all good, but you can tell Deaks is sort of very respectful. This guy's a guy he holds in high regard and is very respectful.
Yeah.
Your boy over here is playing with a dog, isn't he? Knocks over his coffee on the carpet, doesn't he? Oh,
Really. Sergeant Major's coffee.
mate, you can't do stuff like that. Yeah,
How did he take it?
like a champ. I couldn't believe it. I was sort of cowering.
Sorry, sir.
I'm such not a dude. I'm such not a coffee spiller either.
No.
And it was like I maybe
You blame
I
it on the
did-
dog?
No, it was straight up my fault. I was
Oh.
playing with the dog, but then I banged the coffee on. Oh man, was trying to like. The coffee was empty, but it just had the dregs in.
Okay.
You know, this is like a spotless house.
I can imagine. The bed's made.
What a penis.
It's legit.
So yeah, off to the kitchen, and I cleaned it up. It was all good, but just I thought, how funny is that? Like
Classic.
Like I think for Deaks that would have been like, yeah, really tough.
Yeah.
Right, shall I tell you a bit more about my Fort William story now?
Yeah.
Or shall I tell you after the break?
Oh.
This is not an ad. This
No.
is an unboxing, dude. Because the internet loves an unboxing, doesn't it?
We're going to go viral after this one, mate.
I think we are. Yeah, dude, yeah.
Let's
Right,
go viral.
I'm going to get to it. I don't know if there's any ASMR noises that you can hear from the unboxing on the audio. But
You get unboxing, I'll get talking.
Okay.
Worx are one of our longest podcast partners. We've been with them for a long time, hacking boxes away as we go around talking about them. But yeah, Worx have been with us for a long time, mate. And they're arguably one of the most important things when it comes to being a biker, I'd say.
Oh, man.
Clean bikes.
Life-changing when I got this.
Yeah.
This product here that you're about to introduce.
Yeah. Life-changing. You can put that on the box, Worx. That's free. But yeah, I think having a clean bike is super important, and making it as easy as possible is also super important. I used to live in a house that didn't have a garage. Actually still do. But also it meant that bringing a dirty bike home was really difficult. So it was really handy to have this. You can just, we'll talk about it in a second. But yeah, it made cleaning really easy. I'm butchering this. Keep going. Okay, so let's go from the Worx website. So more power beyond your imagination. This is the new one, mate, with the 56 bar body.
We've got a pivotal moment. What product is this?
This is the Worx Hydro Shots.
Ooh.
All right.
Listening, I just pulled it out of its final bag. Look at that thing.
That's a work of art, actually, isn't it?
That's
actually quite cool.
It is. So this is the updated one.
This is a new one.
It
Double
was
pressure.
life-changing for me when it was half pressure.
Yes.
So
they've doubled it, but it's not like too much.
No.
It's not going to blow your bearings all over your driveway or all over the trails. It's just going to be enough. And also, don't just think about it as a thing for your bike, mate. Just around the house, you can clean anything and everything, right? You can do the dishes with it if you really want.
Probably be quite good.
Yeah.
So it's a battery-powered pressure washer offering 56 bar. It runs off the Worx PowerShare battery system. So
Correct.
for me, this is the dream because I have an impact driver.
Yeah.
I have a chainsaw.
I've got a strimmer,
You've got a strimmer,
drill.
Yeah. There you go. And they all run off the same batteries.
Yeah.
Like that it is nice, isn't it?
It is. So
nice.
I just have like 2 batteries on go all the time.
Yeah.
So one's charging, one's actually active in the tools, and I just swap between them whenever you need to change it.
Dude,
Super
dream.
helpful, dude. And the cool thing is with the Worx Hydro Shot is it draws water from any source. So when you buy it in the box, you're gonna get a we might have it here. Do you have the bucket? Do we get the bucket?
There's like a fold-up bucket. That's right.
Yeah.
But it can be any water source. It can be a stream, like at your house.
Yep.
You used to run it off the stream,
Used to
didn't
run
you?
it out the river, yeah.
And then it just filters it with this on the end. So it's perfect for like a race weekend. DV, actually, our race correspondent, just borrowed my Hydro Shot.
Nice.
Gotta give it back, actually. DV, give it back. But he borrowed it just for the enduro race on the weekend at Minehead.
Perfect. Makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, super easy to have. Small, compact, breaks down really easy. It's not going to take up loads of space in your van and stuff. I remember the power petrol washer we used to have was gnarly because it was so big. You used to have to drag it around, take a generator with you as well sometimes to power it. It's gnarly.
Absolutely. So if you live, let's say in a flat, like I used to live in a flat, that's when Worx changed my life. And I'm not even joking, man.
Yeah.
I used to bring my bike through the house, dog poo all over it. There was just no way of me really getting it done other than bringing a bucket out with washing up liquid, and, scrubbing every ride. It's too much.
Yeah.
The Hydro Shot made my life so much easier. It made my bike spotless, and I can tell you it didn't damage my bearings because it just didn't.
Yep. Mate, real world evidence. This one's an easy one to talk about. And I feel like everyone who owns a bike or not should have one of these at their disposal in the garage or wherever it is you want to keep it. Now, the best thing is about Worx and the Hydro Shot is we've got a discount code for the first time in a long time. We've been talking about these products for ages,
actually?
But yeah, we couldn't really send people anywhere, but now we can, which is rad. So Worx have offered up a 15% discount off the Hydro Shot, any product on the website, apart from, there is an edit here, apart from the lawnmower. the robot lawnmower.
The robot look.
Can't
yeah,
do
yeah,
that one.
yeah.
That's crazy
Can't
expensive
have
as
that.
well. That's a lot
Okay,
of money.
yeah, yeah.
So
fair
not
enough.
that, but everything else on the site, you can get 15% off if you head to worx.com or uk.worx.com, either or. It depends where you are in the world. And enter the code, the ride companion, capitals.
I like it that we've got a universal code.
Yes.
Just people
Any
are going
website,
to start.
basically.
Yeah, people are going to start entering on any website. So that's worx.com.
Yeah, or uk.worx.com, either or. You can get
Either
to
or.
them. Yeah. Enter the code, the ride companion, 15% off anything and everything on site, delivered to your door as well. They're giving you a discount, and they'll ship. You don't have to go pick it up.
You don't even have to pick it up.
They'll ship it to you as well.
Wow.
Dream.
Big up Worx.
Big up Worx.
Big up the Hydro Power.
Hydro shot.
Ollie, honestly.
Honestly.
I was reading Power off the back. Thanks, Worx. Peace. Okay.
I was going to do
So I've cleaned up the coffee. We've headed into the mountains, and we've got Sergeant Major as a guide. Big shout out because it was unreal, the trails we rode.
Oh, he rides?
Yeah, he rides, and his kids
Ah.
ride. So we all went on a ride together. It was brilliant. Pedaling up this fire road, and no, I'll be honest. We rode a track before. We rode one of the tracks and then carried on pedaling up the uplift road, the pedal up, the e-bike climb. I don't even know what you call it anymore. And then I could hear like a fiddle playing. No joke. It was the most wholesome thing we walked up. We walked across. It was Hannah, Joe Barnes, and the full trail crew. Who I forget lots of names. I'm awful, but they had a dig day up there.
Oh, right.
They had a barbecue going. They had drinks. They had all of the tools. Kids flying around everywhere. Dogs flying around everywhere. It was the coolest thing. This is going on just like a stone's throw away from a World Cup.
Wow.
And you got so big shout out to really that scene. And it made me so sad that sort of stuff doesn't go on where I am.
Does it not?
Personally.
No.
You?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a few.
Salty blokes that dig tracks and get pissed off with everyone.
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say there's a couple of organisations, Ride
Okay.
Sheffield,
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah,
so you
there's
do have that.
Yeah, there's a few organised dig days, but there's just something different about it being like really out in the sort of like
Yes.
highlands, and like they're just
Yeah.
out there and they've got barbecue. I don't think they do that and make it like a family fun day.
Do you know what I think the difference is?
It's blokes and some women
Honestly, the difference.
Getting
Thanks for
salty.
clarifying.
getting salty.
Anything else? Okay, yeah.
Anyone else?
I honestly think the difference is that when you're somewhere that has fewer people, you value others more, and like-minded people you really value.
Yeah.
Whereas it's not like there's no one looks after anything. Particularly here in Surrey Hills, people are just take. No one's.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something in that.
There is something.
I don't
in
know
that.
if I'm
I
just
think
one
that
of the salty blokes that.
They just seem like a cool scene up there too, man.
Yeah.
Joe Barnes has become one of my favourite people to follow on Instagram recently.
Yeah.
Just because, and he's made me a bit, I think the word's broody, because the stuff he puts out with his son, Bo, like,
so cool. Isn't
really
it?
cool.
Yeah.
And I even commented on one. I was like, mate, stop posting this stuff because it's
Yeah.
so good. I almost want one. Yeah,
It is
him.
good.
Joe's just launched a podcast, so we'll give Joe a little shout out
Oh,
for
there
his
you go.
podcast. Yeah, I think it's called Poddy K or something like that. Poddy K.
Oh, we should get him on.
Yeah, it's getting down. I mean, it's a long way.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They don't
We
travel.
need to go up again. I wouldn't mind going up again. I
Oh,
tell you what, there's
okay.
a lot of midges, but it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Having
I'm
a-
keen.
Okay,
Maybe we can explore
also,
that idea.
I know I'm banging on about e-bikes, but if you're somewhere for 3 days, that's the reason why. I've been going there for years on a normal bike, but in 3 days you can get so much riding.
Yeah, it's big
So,
riding up there.
as a
too, isn't it?
tourist,
lot of
yeah,
climbing.
big hills, yeah.
big
So
hills.
as a tourist, there it's brilliant having your e-bike, but
Yeah.
I'd love to have a normal bike there and have a bit more time. To be honest,
Okay,
yeah.
let's arrange something.
Let's do it. Scottish trip.
Let's do a Scottish trip.
That'd be
Awesome.
nice.
That's cool. Can I interject and talk about my World Champs experience?
Love you too. So you're watching from home.
Yeah, I watched it from a mutual friend's house.
Okay.
Dason's house. We had a little pizza and beer party.
Nice.
0%. And just hung out and watched the race, man. It was nice. Okay. We're gonna get a little salty. Ready?
Are you?
Yeah, because
What are you
why
getting
not?
salty about? Yeah,
Because
go
we
on.
can, because it's what we do, man. And I think
Alright,
it's
let's hear
important
it.
to have these conversations.
I don't know. I
Let me
don't know
settle
where this
in.
is going. What,
Let me
did I say something else about?
No.
All right,
Let me settle in.
It's the UK or Great Britain. Jeez.
Just quickly, did you guys watch the race, or were you just fully up there and not experiencing it?
I just watched it from the side like Ollie here.
Okay, perfect.
Oh yeah.
So you've not watched
VIP. Doug was VIP.
Really? Yeah.
Dude, Doug was up there. Danny Mack, Warner. He's chilling on the finish line.
Balling.
Crew.
Unreal. He had champagne in hand. Caviar. Someone was feeding him caviar.
No
It's like,
way.
Doug, is that you?
Bloody
Couldn't
hell.
believe it.
All right. So I think this is probably quite a long conversation. So we'll try and.
I'm interested in this.
But
Yeah.
I am interested to talk to you about this. And I want people's feedback too. Hopefully, we get some feedback in the comments and stuff.
So you
So-
talking about the broadcast here?
I talk about
You
the whole
talk-
thing a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let's go. We're going to talk about the whole thing a little bit because, I think we all have a different view of what we want mountain biking to be and what we want the broadcast to look like and stuff like that. I think it's safe to say that we all have probably a lot of people have a different idea of what mountain biking is to them and like what it looks like, right? That's fair. And my view is probably a little bit different to most because I'm quite a fan of American sports. I'm quite a fan of Supercross, and I am a fan of what you've seen those sports, especially Supercross, actually turn into, and a great job that the media teams behind it do of telling stories, of showing you all the cool shit behind the scenes, and I'm probably gonna speak out of turn on some stuff, but we'll go for it anyway. So for me, like World Champs, right? It's the biggest event of the year, and biggest event of the year, I'd say, for downhill.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it?
It's a
Because
weird
it's
one.
a standalone one. It's a
It's a
little
yeah.
island. Yeah.
But the fact that it was on like in the UK,
Certainly
it's
up
on,
there.
it's on
Yeah.
national TV as well, right? It's on the BBC. It's on the biggest TV thing. So you've got all the teams doing all this cool shit as well, right? So you've got like custom bikes, you've got custom kit, you've got all this cool stuff going on, and all these riders coming over from different countries that maybe don't ride the World Cup circuit and stuff like that. And I just feel that we just do a bad job of portraying our amazing sport to new audiences. And I think it's been really interesting to see over the last few years, like how much people respect vlogs and how much people respect more behind the scenes stuff. And I just feel like it's just off. Like it just was like, for example, it was on mainstream TV in the UK and my dad watched it.
Yeah, it was
And
on
my
the
dad-
BBC,
It was
right?
on the BBC. It was on BBC One. Needles commentated. No doubt he did a fantastic job. But even my dad was a bit like, it was just a bit like bland. It was a bit boring. And
So-
and I think again, I'm really mindful here of like I'm all for. I want to be super positive about the sport. I think that's something that we really try and do here, right? We try and be super positive. We're trying to project it in a great light and stuff. But I'm also quite mindful that if we're going to be putting mountain biking on mainstream TV or in front of a lot of people, let's make it look what we know it is behind.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? So I think obviously it's really difficult as well for these broadcast teams to. God, I feel like such a dick here. But it's hard for these broadcast teams to sort of show what downhill is because it's a big course and blah 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 blah. But like the track didn't look as gnarly as what it maybe should have on TV. A lot of it was missing. A lot of it made it look like a flat track. It showed a lot of pedaling sections, and I think it just unless you knew the sport of downhill, you'd be like, it's a bit lame.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know. So there's that, and I just
So,
think
so
like
are we doing improvements now? So like, what about? I
Yeah.
I haven't seen the
See that-
World Champs broadcast. So what things would you add to make it more like Supercross or to make it more like? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be more Supercross per se, but it just needs like some pizzazz, some excitement behind it. It was just bland.
So you saying stuff like rider intros? So like
Rider intros, like why aren't we telling people more information about these people, like who they are? I know you've only
Yeah.
got a few minutes. I appreciate that, and also we're not, the
how many riders were on the broadcast? Was it still 30?
No, it's way more. It was, it was a lot more. It was a
Yeah.
lot. And again, this is a bigger conversation than what we can probably have here, man, because there's so much other elements to this of how you do it and rider gaps and all that sort of stuff. You know, I appreciate that, but I was just like, you know, me and Dason sat there, and not to call him out either, but like we're having beer and it's chill, and we were both just like,
Yeah.
and I don't want that. Like, that's not what it is to me. Like, there was just like no show behind it. And to say it's like world champs, like this is the event, this is it. There was just like no.
I think
hype.
the weird thing about World Champs is it's like governing body, so it's actually not the most commercial event.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
Hardline, for instance, that has
Yeah,
so much
totally.
money put into it. It's actually not like that. It's like,
Yeah.
I remember there were I can't remember who it was, but they had to pay their own flights. I can't remember which team it was even, but they had to pay their own flights to World Champs.
Right.
You know, stuff like that, weird stuff where
Yeah.
a team, the national team won't pay.
Right. Right.
I'm not calling out any national
no,
teams because I don't know which one it was or whatever, but
No.
I think like Eddie used to have to pay for his own flights years ago
Oh, right.
to World Champs. I think he was saying, and like,
Okay.
and they have to wear the jerseys, and jerseys have sponsors that are nothing to do with that individual.
Yeah.
Like, there's loads of funny things about World Champs actually. So I kind of, it doesn't surprise me that the broadcast would be. It's just less commercially viable. It's more like.
See, I love that you've brought your spin to it. Maybe I'm just like looking at it wrong. I just feel.
I haven't seen it, dog. I'm
Okay.
I'm
No,
not
no,
even
no.
like.
But
yeah.
I just think that, yeah, you're right. Maybe it is the people, the governing body behind it. But the fact, like I say, that we have this one-off event that's so special,
Yeah.
that like you don't see any of it.
I'm
Like,
completely with you.
You know,
Everything is so hard to get across on screen.
It
You
is.
ride down something steep and it doesn't look steep. You go to Rampage and you actually look at stuff and you're like, well, it's so much gnarlier than what
Yeah.
it looks like. It looks like a groomed course. Like, I think that is the challenge, isn't it?
it is a challenge.
It is the challenge. But with World Champs, I literally don't know who has the purse to do it and to do like, it'd be cool to do rider intros. I'm with you. And it'd be cool to do all of these
And I
things.
think that's
but
one
they all
thing-
come at a cost.
Of course
don't
they do, and that's one thing that. Yeah, perfect. Really, you know, like when you look at what the hardline broadcast would have
Yeah.
probably been, it's like let's lift the lid on these people. Like, who are these people under these helmets?
That's a TV show, isn't it?
Yeah,
Something like Hardline
Yeah,
or something
and I
like
think that's
Rampage
what
is a TV show.
and I think that's probably why I've got that idea and that like, what would you call it? That sort of like perspective is like I was watching it on TV, but yeah, it didn't seem like a TV show.
I'm trying to think of another sport
make
that has
sense?
like, yeah, absolutely, like the cricket. If that's like a
I don't know.
no,
I don't watch it.
but I don't think
watch
the
it.
cricket is like doing like intros with them.
Surely there has to be something because it's so bland.
But I think a lot of sport is like for the fans, you know,
Yeah.
thick and thin fans, even if it's
Which is
I-
fair. Which
Yeah,
is
like,
fair,
if you
but
actually
also
think
if
about
it's
it, like athletics, they don't really do a lot of that supercross like hyping it up and stuff. And actually, cricket
True.
would be tough. It'd be hard to make cricket exciting, I would say. But athletics, I feel like you could.
definitely, and I'm sure they do. I don't know. I don't
I
watch.
don't know.
Again, if I've ever watched athletics, it's going to be like a BBC broadcast of
Yeah, it's
something.
Commonwealth Games, isn't
Yeah.
it? Or it's like, yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
sure there's these like fringe events in athletics that are like a bit more hype and maybe some fireworks and stuff.
I haven't watched actually,
Or
which
three-legged
is terrible
people.
because we've got a podcast that literally is meant to talk about it. But I haven't watched any of the World Champs other events because
No.
this has been the first one that's been unified. So
Yeah.
everything has gone on in Glasgow, which is really exciting actually for the
Yeah.
sport and in future for the sport in different locations. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Like it was, I think Fort William felt quite set apart, and I guess downhill will be set apart from the other events because,
Everybody I've spoke to that went there said it was amazing. Atmosphere was insane.
oh yeah,
Like,
Fort's
and no
quite
doubt it
something,
was.
innit?
But I just wish, like I said, I
Yeah,
just
to
wish
get it across. I'm
we
with you.
could get it across and
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just
I'm
come
with you.
across as bland.
I'm with you, but I don't know how. What I was going to say is I don't know how they presented other sports because
No.
it's tied into the same thing. It's not.
And it was on my list of things to try and do was to watch
Yeah, the BMX.
something big, you know, like road race, something big where it's like, because everyone always says this thing, it's like, oh, the money's going into the other sports. It's like, okay, well, what do they look
Handball
like?
one, didn't he? Road.
Yeah, it did, yeah. That's, I'd like, if that's what people say, like all the money gets funneled that way, I want to see what does that broadcast look like? Like, is it any different? I don't know.
I don't know. It's
I don't
very
know.
interesting because you've got stuff like I don't know because we we live in a bubble. We survive in a bubble. Obviously, we're proper head in the sand. But in my eyes, mountain biking, not necessarily downhill mountain biking, but mountain biking as a sport, and bias towards descending.
Yep.
Mountain biking as a participation sport, in my eyes, is much bigger than track cycling. Would you agree? Track cycling, going around a velodrome,
Yeah, in my
is
eyes,
not accessible.
Yeah.
And not many people have track bikes, fixies.
True.
I don't think. I just think more people have mountain bikes. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'd
I'm
say
wrong a
more
lot
pe-
about these things.
I'd say more people do have mountain bikes.
But I think it's just a governing body. It's easier for them to like sort of weigh.
Yeah. Like,
Just,
I wish there was just someone there in the middle, and maybe there is, that's like, okay, who sort of like stands for descending mountain biking, like downhill, that was like,
Yeah.
okay, right, it's going on BBC, prime time, Saturday afternoon. Let's go. Like, let's get this sport in front of people. Let's make people hyped. Let's make people
Yeah.
watch it and go, that was insane. Like, what an amazing thing to see. Whereas I feel like people would have maybe watched that and gone, yeah, it's all
yeah,
right. You know?
yeah. It's tough. I mean, trackside, obviously, everyone's hurtling at such a speed. It's so impressive.
Yeah.
But actually, Fort William is a difficult track to capture because honestly, it's not that steep.
Mm.
It is that long. It's what's gnarly about it is just how brutally long it is. And like to think when you're up the top of the lift, you don't look at the crowd all the way down there, which you can do.
Yeah.
You see that crowd, you can almost, you can imagine the sound of that crowd. You don't think you'd be down there in 4 minutes time on two wheels. Like it's actually quite
That's
a
so
feat
crazy.
when you're up there in that.
Yeah.
Mate, I was up top for Valley's Run. I talked about it on the last podcast, so I was going to try and not talk about results. I was going to try and talk about the experience.
Yeah.
But I was up top for Valley's Run. And I just thought, whoa, I am glad I'm not you right now. Like Valley in the start hard, just on her own, looking down the track, just like backpedaling. You've got
Silence.
you got a big job on. You've got 5 minutes.
Midges.
You've got a big job on.
Yeah.
5 minutes of threading the needle all the way down the track to get to that crowd.
Gnarly, man.
Like it's wild sport, and I think just capturing that alone is so difficult.
Yeah. But we know
Yeah,
we know how gnarly Fort William is, right? And most people that are watching it that are already a fan of downhill, they know the history at Fort William. They know how technical some of those sections are.
I've just had
But
a thought.
for the person just switching the TV on,
I've
it
just
just
had a
doesn't-
thought. You sit down on a Sunday evening, you switch TV on. What's on?
Oh, I know that
That's Ski
University
Sunday. isn't it?
Challenge?
Is that Ski Sunday?
oh yeah,
Am
maybe
I doing Antiques Roadshow?
it might be an Antiques Roadshow, I think.
I don't know. I think I was trying to do Ski Sunday anyway.
Yeah.
Ski Sunday's on. The downhill racing in Ski Sunday. I think you watch it, you know they're going quick, you know it's gnarly, you know it's impressive,
Yeah.
but it still doesn't come across, does it?
No, not really.
I'm
No,
just trying
not
to think of an
really.
example of another sport that you
The
don't
good
quite...
thing that they have with that is
Disc
like
golf.
disc golf, but
Very impressive, but it just doesn't...
It just doesn't come across. The thing that yeah,
No offense.
it's like the sound of downhill skiing's gnarly.
Yeah.
And
Just
like the
like
wind
ice,
and like
isn't it?
you can kind of tell it's gnarly. You're right though, man. It is really difficult to get this stuff across.
I don't know how you
on
do
TV.
it.
I don't.
Rider after rider, live TV.
Yeah, man, it's tough.
I
And
felt for the cameramen.
I do.
Oh.
Sorry, I just want to say to the camera, I don't want to be a dick. I'm not. I'm just putting across like
No, it's good. It's
we have
interesting.
passionate people behind this sport as well, and like
Yeah.
I'm just that was my takeaway.
Yeah.
Credit to everyone who raced and did well, especially Charlie Hatton.
Yeah, big up Charlie Hatton. I wanted to do a shout out to the cameramen on the hill. Oh, Doug, did you walk the course?
Yeah, I went about halfway up.
Halfway up. Did you see some of the, as a fellow cinematographer, did you see some of the cameramen?
Yeah, just sitting there in waterproofs and midgie nets and
Oh
middle
my!
of the group.
It-
Oh, no.
It looked awful. They're all stood up. That's what I noticed. So they
Oh, really?
stood with tripod, with raincoat
Oh.
on, with mozzie nets.
Do you
Like,
think they
it
have to
looked
put the name in a hat
miserable.
of like who's gonna do the downhill, who's gonna do velodrome, and
Who
everyone's
gets,
like,
who gets the woods? Who gets the woods? Who gets the motorway? Who gets
Yeah,
the top?
exactly.
Oh, even within the Fort William downhill, it's like
and it's so easy, right, to sit and criticize and just watch it and go, there should be more cameras. But then you do have to go, well, someone's got to man it, someone's got to carry the cables up, someone's like,
Do Do you know the deer gate?
Again.
Someone's gonna get Deaks' face in their camera as well.
Yeah, someone's gonna get a
Oh,
deacon.
mate, we got to talk about that. That was brilliant. Great cue. So we were on our way down. We were so wet.
You must have been there when he did that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were like that, because they had these unmanned cameras.
Yeah, watched it. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, imagine, oh." That's quite a good
Are they
impression,
unmanned?
actually. They're unmanned, yeah.
I didn't know that. So
yeah,
there's just a
so
camera
anyone
there.
could have done that. Anyone could have done it.
Fantastic.
So that, yeah, so there's just a camera there, and then there's someone obviously in a studio flicking to the
Yeah.
camera. And who was it? It was
I can't remember whose run it was.
Nah. Anyway, yeah. So that was really
it was
funny.
the Aussie guy, Ahern.
Yeah, that's it.
Kaya Hearn.
Did we talk about it on the last podcast?
I think very briefly.
Very briefly. Man, it was so funny when we got to the bottom. Well, but actually, as we were walking down, because we're really wet at this point. We're really sort of like, like give up wet.
Yeah.
Like you're wet all
Wet
the way
feet.
through. All I had was a t-shirt on and a raincoat. It was freezing cold.
Oh.
Same for Deaks. He just had a hoodie on. Sausage buried deep in his throat. And he did it, and we sort of just thought, well, it probably won't. Nothing will happen. But as he was walking away, like it really is live. As he's walking away, the phone's just going mad. His phone's just going ding, 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 ding.
No.
Because obviously everyone watching at home, everyone watching in the finish line is just like straight away. It's,
Oh, it's the same one on the finish line
you
too.
twat. Over and over again. He's just, we're crying as we go down. It's so funny. There you go. That's what happens when you get unmanned cameras.
Yeah. I'm surprised more
Yeesh.
people don't do it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I once took a boom arm. This is for one of our previous podcast guests, Clay Porter. I once walked a boom arm and weights up to the deer gate. That's quite a lot, isn't it? Like this is literally a crane that slots together.
And you.
This was for 3-minute gaps,
Okay.
and I walked it up with Sam Reynolds, I think.
No
we walked up,
way.
and then just 20-kilo weights.
That's a long way.
A really long way, yeah.
Gnarly.
Yeah.
Gnarly. Well,
that's
that's World
hellish,
Champs
yeah.
out of the way. I guess we got another round. Where are we at next? What's the next round of the World
Andorra,
Cup?
I
Anyone
think.
know? Andorra? Yeah. Sick.
Andorra,
Looking
yeah.
forward to it. Hype
Yeah,
for
it
it.
should be good.
Gonna set my fantasy team. Get ready.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right, I think I feel like we've got to throw it back a bit. We're going to go for a lunch and learn.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe I've got it written down here. But I just, it's been a while since we've just done one, just two of us.
Yeah.
Lunch and learn, to someone who hasn't listened to the podcast as long, is 10 minutes and 23 seconds of us picking a subject and researching it as much as possible.
Yeah.
It feels like a mistake this time.
Yeah, we're not doing it for a minute. It's been a while.
What subjects can we do? Because what I've got written down is ridiculous. Also kind of funny.
It is kind of funny.
Like that it's so not something that you can...
It's
I know.
yeah.
What... Oh, shall I even say it? Because then the stopwatch sort of starts, doesn't it?
If you're confident with it.
I'm not.
Oh.
It's something I know nothing about, but I feel like you
Yeah,
know
that's what I
nothing
mean.
too.
If you're confident to go with it, yeah. Let's go. Are you setting a
What else could we
stopwatch?
do? Yeah, I could do.
Well, we could do a lot of things, man. There's a lot of things we could do.
A lot to learn. You're
There's
right.
a lot to learn out there. There's a lot that we don't know.
Have you got one?
No. Have you? You have. We'll
I
go
have.
with it.
I've got it written down, but it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, it is kind of ridiculous.
Origins of the Bible. Stopwatch starts.
Okay.
That's a good one, isn't it? I feel like it's got weird in here as soon as you mention the Bible. Like we're going to say something wrong. It's fine. It's a
No,
book.
let's do it. Let's do it. I've been trying to read the Bible recently. So
Yeah, you have, exactly,
I've been
yeah.
trying
And
to
I'd
read the
love to know the origins of the Bible.
No, I don't know that.
Well, I think that's a... I mean,
think
if you just
I
have
just-
the Bible...
I
it's
just
such a
feel like
broad-
it's such a... There's like so much to unpack with it.
Yeah, I know.
that,
It's
like,
pointless, isn't it? It's so many
we
pages
won't-
and you've read barely
No,
any
but
of them.
The origins of it. If that's all we were doing, because it's
Okay.
like a lineages of different stories of different people
Different
that have compiled
religions
different
as well.
religions, and there's so many
Okay, that's pointless. What can we
cross-referencing
do then?
wild things.
Oh, let's ditch it.
Should we do a podium picks?
Yeah, we could... But I feel like we should do a lunch and learn first.
I want to do a lunch and learn.
Light
What have we
bulb.
talked? Light bulb. Fucking hell.
Was that Edison? Did the light bulb? Let's do podium picks. We'll do a lunch and learn on the next one.
Let's think of one. Let's just keep it going. Keep it light-hearted.
Okay, yeah.
The Bible.
Bible's too much.
The energy changes, huh? With that.
It does.
Why is that? Why does the energy change when you mention the Bible?
It didn't before.
And every time someone's seen that I've got one, something changes. Like,
It's a shame, actually, that.
The only reason I got one. Oh man, religion's a tough conversation, but just to preface this, is because I was just like, I wanted to know why like wars are fought over a book, and like why so many people live by this thing, this text that is seemingly a lot of it's just made up or like passed down so many thousands of years that things change and it's been reinterpreted. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to read this thing and try and have a better understanding of it. And
I think that's cool, yeah.
I'm not very far through, but what I was going to say is every time someone like sees it or it comes up and it's like, ooh, why are you doing that? And you're just like, oh, because I'm just kind of like
just interested.
Bit interested.
Tough read though, isn't it?
You know what?
The language.
We went out for a meal with a bunch of friends recently. There's a load of us sat on a table, and my dad rang me.
You didn't bring your Bible along.
Didn't bring my Bible along with me, but I don't know why. This is not anything to do with the Bible, actually, in a weird way. But like, as I hung up the phone, I was like, "Oh, God bless." But I say that, and it's not like a religious thing. And then my mate's like, "I was reading the Bible, trying to take the piss," and I was like, "Yeah, not that good, mate. To be honest with you, like it's taken a long time. It's really difficult to read." And then I was just like, "I'm just curious." And then another friend was like, "It's good to be curious. I respect that." I said, "It is good to be curious."
I think it is.
Right?
I don't think there's anything wrong with reading the Bible.
Just be curious. It doesn't mean anything.
Do you sometimes like the pages are thin and the writing's small, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you sometimes like sort of accidentally on
Skip
purpose
a few.
group? Do you? And whatever it is, John and Peter and
Mate,
that.
that could be the bit in there that changes everything.
Else, and then there's like
That
the
could
bush
be
is already burnt down, and like the fucking.
That could be the bit in there that changes everything, though. That could be the thing that hits home. That's
I know so few of the stories.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, and actually, I
but
went
it's all
to
really interesting because they're all like they spread across different religions, and there's like different variations of the same stories and stuff. It's super interesting.
And the teachings are a lot of them all good. Some of them a bit dicey, but a lot of them are all good.
I think it's a great
largely positive.
I think it's I don't know, man. Religion, it's gnarly. I don't know. Like, it's a good thing, I think, for people to have something to believe in. That, you know, ultimately, you got to believe in something.
Oh man, I'd love to find a way of simplifying it all. To be quite honest.
Podium picks.
Podium picks it is. Right, you've got the podium picks.
All right, okay, podium
picks.
picks.
I want to talk about the Bible again, dude.
Okay.
It's weird how it makes.
I wonder if we get someone in as a guest.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, get a Christian in. Yeah.
Gorilla Christian episode. So anyway, we're gonna get.
It would be
people in the back
absolutely fantastic
to do one of these as well because it's interesting. Okay, so I had an idea for podium picks. For people who don't know what podium picks is, this is another one of those dumbass games that we used to play when we had nothing to talk about when we were in lockdown.
It's true.
And
that's what they're born of, isn't it?
That's what it's born of. So basically, you just use the comment section on YouTube or you send them in a DM or whatever you want to do with your podium picks. So it's your third, second, and first best of something, right? And we have a topic. So today's podium picks are going to be movie scenes.
Whoa.
Top three. What are your top three movie scenes of all time? So use the comment section. 3, 2, 1. Movie scenes. All right, here we go. This is mine. My number three is going to be a movie scene from Dumb and Dumber, and it is the scene where I think it's Harry and Lloyd, are on a small motorbike, and they're stuck together, and it makes me laugh every single time I see it.
I know the one, yeah.
You know one?
Yeah.
They're freezing cold. They're going across a really straight road.
Yeah.
Super slow, and that just gets me every time. I don't know what it is. That's my kind of humor. Okay, so I keep going. Shall I do all three?
Keep going because I'm
You're
still
thinking.
Yeah.
You guys good?
One down.
Okay, I'll do my second one.
What are you thinking?
Okay, my second podium pick movie scenes is gonna be from the iconic. Oh, which one do I go with? No, I'm gonna go for it. The iconic Superbad, and it is the McLovin scene.
Nice.
Okay, that one tickles me every single time. It's one of my favorite films of all time, if not my favorite film of all time. We're going, there's two comedy ones. Yeah, McLovin scene, historic. It's hilarious every single time. There is nothing better than that McLovin driving license, the merch that came off the back of it, and just that whole movie in general is just a vibe. Whenever I just want to like chill, I'll just put Superbad on. It just gets me every time. And then, switching gears, all-time favorite movie scene of all time is from Death Proof, the Quentin Tarantino film, and it's going to be the lap dance scene. Do you not? And
I've seen Death Proof, but I'm so annoyed
Death
that I don't know
Proof.
your number one.
yeah, so the Death Proof, that scene, it's like like a song. It goes down in Mexico, and she does a lap
Nice.
dance for Stuntman Mike.
Yeah.
And it's not even that it's just like crazy sexy, because it is crazy sexy. It's just everything about that scene, like the long brunette hair, the shorts, the top. It's just a vibe. So yeah, they're my
so good.
yeah.
I feel like you've prepared.
I did
yours,
prepare.
though.
I've been thinking about those for a short while. I'll be honest with you. And usually with this, one of us has prepared something because we.
Yeah, it's true.
we come
Yeah,
up
yeah,
with a
yeah.
topic. But yeah, they're my top 3 movie scenes of all time. Would anyone like to go next? I'm gonna hand over the baton.
I don't have it. I've got like I Love You Man.
What's that?
I Love You Man. Yeah, it's called I Love You Man. There's so many scenes in that. I love that film.
Should we use the microphone?
Yeah, 1 second. I'm really, really thrown because I'm trying to find.
This is a good one because there's a lot of
Yeah, it
movie
is.
scenes, right? It takes a little bit of time to.
Like I would have found it easier to do like podium picks for just movies.
Yeah, that's
so-
too easy.
Yeah, it's too easy and it's kind of what I'm doing a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I Love You Man is it's a like rom-com, honestly.
It's
And
Owen
it's just a
Wilson.
lame rom-com, but that my friends and I all for some reason ended up watching, and there's so many quotes in it. It's
Sick.
really, really funny. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's it got in it that you might know? Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. Yeah.
He's brilliant in it,
Yeah.
and Jason Segel
Okay.
and
Steven's brother.
many others. Steven Seagal. Oh, that's open. See, the problem is, as soon as when I've not already been thinking about it, there's so many films.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
tough.
movies, and I don't watch enough now.
I think that sometimes maybe a good way of doing podium picks in the future is that you know in advance, which is why I asked you before. Like, do you want some time to think about?
Yeah,
this one?
I should have said yeah.
Because then you can
Because I
come
thought
with,
it was going to be like crisps or something. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly. Because then you can come in with some like, I've thought about this for a week, and
Yeah.
I've got it there. Like, I've thought about that for
Now
a long
I
time.
look like a right knob.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
I-
you look like you've never seen a film.
Yeah, I literally do. I was just trying to think of like individual moments that stick out to me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like the Ace Ventura scene where he's in the truck and he's like bouncing down the road.
Good
Like
scene.
that really, like I found that so funny as a child.
Good scene.
But that isn't a standout movie scene for me.
Okay.
I'm actually, I think, unable to submit my podium picks,
Let's have a moment of silence for that.
and I really want to apologise for that. But it's because I just take it too damn seriously.
Yeah, and
I've
I
got
did
too
spring
much
it on you.
goddamn
I did spring it
respect
on
for
you, and
podium
it's
picks.
something that you do need to think through a little bit, I think.
I'll bring them back next. Yeah, I think maybe I'll join in the comments on the YouTube.
I was
That's
just
what
gonna
I'm
say,
going to
comment
do.
section.
I'll do that because like I say, I love films and I've
Yeah.
spent a lot of time watching films. I want to do a good lineup.
All right.
Yeah.
We got any in the back? The back of the ship.
Are we
mean,
allowed to? Are you openly in the back now?
I guess so. I guess so. I mean, you kind of did this dirty, David, because this is my thing. You know,
What?
this
I
is
think.
this is our thing. You know, I mean, we're
Movies?
we're running the cameras. What do you think? This is our
That's
job.
fair
Dave.
point, actually. You got a fair
There's
point.
lot that goes into this.
Like I'm gonna say 3, and then
Please.
I'm gonna regret it because I'll thought of something else after this.
You could go in the
Yeah.
comments as well, but I want to hear the
Could,
yeah.
but yeah, I think I'm gonna start off with the Tarantino as well. But the diner scene from Pulp Fiction with the stick up,
Nice.
with Honey
The
Bunny and
diner
all that.
scene, yeah.
just the cadence of it,
Classic
the bad
scene.
motherfucker wallet. All
Oh,
of it,
man.
just
That's good, man.
the
That's
fact
really
it's split
good.
across the. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
watch movies different, I think, to a lot of people because you're like major cinema guy as well, right?
I'm
Like
into it.
filming
I'm
guy.
into it. I like a funny episode or something, one way or another. But like
Yeah.
movies, yeah.
Okay.
See,
Yeah,
but
boy.
again, it's actually really hard because if you're talking about like epic moments,
Yeah, mine aren't shit. Mine's
Yeah.
shit. Like apart from
I'm
the
talking
Tarantino
about,
one,
Like my
'cause
next
that's
two
like,
are probably, I'd say, like more classic cinema, like yeah. But
okay.
like
you know,
Harry Met
you know.
Sally, Come in the Hair or whatever.
yeah, well, I like my number 2 is the final battle scene from Saving Private Ryan. You know, where everyone dies and stuff. You know, but that's an elongated
Heavy
section. That's not like a
dog.
little one, but
I like
You
it.
know,
we got to narrow this down, I think, haven't we?
Yeah.
Because there are some. Oh man, there's so many.
That's a good one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the final one's the standoff in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly scene.
Oh, I'm
No.
bad. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen? Oh dear.
Nah.
Oh dear.
See, the annoying thing with me in this, I'm not a movie guy. I'm really not. Like, that's why a lot of mine are like American teen movies.
Yeah.
You know? Dumb and Dumber, though. Banger.
Has it aged well? If you watched it now, is it still funny?
I don't know.
See, I wonder that about. Have you watched Dumb and Dumber recently?
Not recently, but
I think a lot of movies don't age well. I think they're really something that they get like a, like even. I was thinking about it with Superbad. Did you say Superbad or Pineapple Express or those movies?
Superbad.
Like whether if you watch those now, whether even they translate now.
True.
I don't know.
I watched Superbad not long ago. It still made me laugh.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah, hard.
Okay, what's a better example? American Pie.
Yeah, that's
Because that was a big teen movie, wasn't it?
Fringe, I think now maybe.
I don't know what it'd be like. I mean, Jurassic Park's god awful. The first one now, if you watch it, like the special effects don't hold up.
That's like a cult movie. I don't think you can say it's god awful.
But if you watch just some sections, you're like, it's not believable.
Is that Naomi? You're just getting rid of that off your list now, yeah?
Fuck off.
Are you playing, Naomi? Are you playing?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I don't have a specific scene for my third.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Basically, just Step Brothers has a lot of just iconic scenes in it. So
Yeah.
just the whole thing.
The bunk bed scene.
Yeah, so much space for sweet activity.
So good.
Mwah.
Step Brothers is genius.
Second,
Yeah.
probably the kind of gory fight scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
At the end.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's
The
banging.
build
like
up.
switches gears
is just
as well.
perfect.
Like, yeah.
Um,
Oh, it's gonna get a blowtorch out.
Yeah.
Flamethrower.
Iconic.
Whatever it is.
It was actually the dog food can to the face was my favorite part. Number one. Opening scene of Inglourious Bastards.
Oh man.
Yep, you missed that one.
We got some Tarantino fans.
I
Haven't we?
realised when I put them both down, I was like, oh, that's two Tarantinos, but
Wow.
but
That's a good one.
yeah, I think just for I think that's mostly cinematically
Yeah.
like
I think-
why it's been chosen. You're the same though with the
I was thinking a lot of like Django stuff as well. I was like trying to think like Django's got some pretty badass scenes in it.
I will say the best shoot 'em up scene is the Django. You know, when they just annihilates everyone and there's just the tsunami of blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we could do a whole
Yeah, it's
podcast
starting
on
everywhere.
films with you. That'd be great.
Yeah, man. Maybe you could do one.
We'll see.
What was the movie recently? It was another World War II movie, and it had the really long shot
Oh
of
yeah.
him at the end.
Yeah.
It's not 19.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah, I think it
1917?
was
Yeah.
1917.
Like the World War One, where it's all shot in one
Is it
take, but
one
it's
take?
Yeah,
But
the
yeah,
one take
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. That because it's all where it's all dark and like.
When you
Oh,
say
man,
it's
I
shot in
love
one take, as in it's literally he
That's
acted
Seminole.
that whole way through.
No. So
No.
it's cinemagraph. The shooting of it was made to look like one scene, but there's lots of sneaky little bits in here.
Ah,
Here
okay,
and
so
there,
like a
you know.
tree goes past.
Yeah, so
and
it's like they'll pass behind someone's back, they'll cut, and then you'll bring it out.
Right.
It's all done. You know, there's a lot more extended than your regular film, and a lot more needs to go into think about it. But
Yeah.
it's all done sneakily. So like they'll go into the darkness, they'll cut, but
Yeah.
then because you need this, your camera settings won't last everywhere. You can't go
Yeah.
from the bright sun into
No.
the darkness. That needs to get adapted, and all these things dialed in, and lens changes and all this kind of stuff. So it's all done cleverly. But I think you got the Oscar for it. Mr. Deakins did.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
it's so good that like it makes you think. It actually makes me think of the movie Shires that premiered at Fort William that I didn't get to see.
No.
But there hasn't been much. Just because it's a one take, it made me think of Seminux one take. There hasn't been many big projects lately,
No.
like
there
bike
hasn't.
films, has there?
No.
None that I can remember.
Have you seen the
Right now.
I think the
Freeride
internet
one?
kind of killed that a wee bit.
Yeah, the
The
internet. did
internet
kinda
Yeah,
kill
slayed it, hasn't it? There was a brilliant monster edit. Did you see that? The Street BMX one.
Is that the Freak one?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
that from
yeah.
Clay. Yeah.
I thought that was
Yeah.
mega. Yeah.
No, Clay didn't do it, but he shared it, I think, and that's where I saw it.
Ah,
Mm.
okay.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
watched it yet. I did see it though.
Yeah, that's
And
good,
there's a
that.
free ride documentary out at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, I haven't watched
I
that
haven't
either.
seen that either.
We need to do our due diligence. Don't
I
we?
didn't
We
watch
need to
that
get
because it
amongst
was over. It was a 24-hour. You could watch it for free,
Ah,
but it was world champs, so it was like there's a lot happening.
yeah.
I
there
was
you
just
go.
sat there salty on the sofa.
Just not good enough. Yeah. Well, I feel really bad for being a cop out on those movies, but
Comment section is open, folks. Comment section is open. That was a good one. I really enjoyed that one.
Brilliant.
That was a good one.
Really good.
I'm glad I brought the heat on that one. Cool.
And the heat in this basement underneath our podcast studio.
It's nice down here.
Ooh, it's hot.
Oh, it's hot.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
All right, good stuff. What we got? What we got next? And what time are we on now?
I love having the guys in the back more.
We're getting there.
Yeah, getting there. Isn't like it's getting.
I'm just trying to work out whether it's worth us doing. I think we should do a whole. If we do listener questions now, it won't be. We won't do very many.
No, it's true.
I think we should do it in another episode.
Yeah, keen for that.
It's been lovely anyway. It's been lovely catching
really
up.
Nice. Yeah, really nice. I feel like there's loads more we can always talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's nice just to hang out in the new space, isn't it?
Isn't it just?
Really nice. It's nice having shoes off.
It's nice having shoes off. Carpet's
coughing.
great, isn't it? Carpet is great, and I haven't spilled anything, so that's good as well.
Yeah, no coughing afterwards. It's nice.
Yeah, that's good,
yeah. What else we got to say? I guess when is this coming out? No race, nothing. Just thanks everyone. I think.
Thanks everyone.
I think we need to be better at telling people to leave a comment recently.
They definitely need to. They need to leave more comments.
A few more comments on YouTube would be good. Also, we've got bottle openers will be on the merch store.
So good.
We've only got a very limited amount. We always have limited stuff. So how about I was thinking we just give them away with hats.
You got another shipment with hats, didn't you, recently?
Yeah, never mentioned it. So hats are back in stock, folks. So for every get a free bottle opener, made in Sheffield, bottle opener, with a TRC or a
bottle opener here,
bicycle component. What is it called? Bicycle.
You CGI
club.
this as if it's a bottle opener. He's shaking his head.
What about this? That.
What about now? If you're listening, then Doug's gonna CGI a bottle opener.
Been used with a bottle.
With
and
a
bottle, sound effect. So buy a hat. We'll throw in a free bottle opener while stocks last. Made in Sheffield. Sheffield
That's good,
steel.
that is. It's real Sheffield steel.
Yeah, man.
Very cool.
Yeah. But thank you everyone. Like and subscribe means a lot if you do. And that's it. And that's that, isn't it?
Peace and love.
Like and subscribe.
Ken Burns into that shot of me.
That's too good.
Oh, I feel a bit deflated now. I feel like it's all coming to an end. This episode's finishing. No?
No. People can watch another clip if they want. It's down there.
That easy?
Down here. Somewhere. They can subscribe. Up there.
Is it that easy? Yeah.
Yeah. They can follow us on Instagram at The Ride Companion.
That's true.
They can follow you personally at @OW_23.
Yeah.
They can check out the website.
Oh, it'd be nice if they did, actually.
You can sign up to the mailing list.
So what you're saying is it just continues?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. So the podcast just continues into real life?
Yeah. We just integrate it into the real life. We're
I've
not
had an
just
idea,
podcast
actually.
people. What?
We could continue it into real life even more.
Ooh.
In Mexico. Am I right?
Oh, mate. If you want to come on holiday with us, we're going to eat tacos, ride bikes in Oaxaca in December. Then head to the website to find out more information, or in the show description, there is more details.
Man, does that sound good.
Arriba.
That's it. That's your Spanish.
See.
Oh!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like and subscribe.
Peace.